Hi everyone and welcome to another video from DisplayRepair.com. If your hood won't open, this video should give a couple of reasons why this is happening. We'll also mention some solutions to the problem, so stay tuned. DisplayRepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website DisplayRepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips. Before we start, just a few words about how the whole mechanism works. The standard mechanism for locking the hood is very simple and consists of a handle for pulling, a releasing cable, and a latch. When you pull the handle, it pulls the release cable, which then pulls the latch mechanism, which releases the catch on the hood. So the whole mechanism is essentially a type of remote control, so you can open the hood from the passenger cabin. Besides the latch, you also have, as a standard, a secondary latch that has the main purpose of preventing the hood from fully opening, especially when driving, if the primary latch is for some reason released. A broken or stuck release cable is by far the most common reason for why the hood won't open, and the first thing you should check. As mentioned, this cable is the physical connection between the handle in the passenger cabin and the latch mechanism. It mostly fails due to material fatigue. Over time, the cable gets weaker and weaker and can eventually snap. This will happen faster if the latch mechanism is faulty, because it then puts more strain on the cable. One more common fault is that the cable gets stuck. The wire inside the cable may get rusty over time, causing it to completely jam or have a lag when returning. When the cable is broken, you'll easily recognize it, as when you pull the handle it will easily retract and you won't sense any resistance. When the cable is stuck, the hood may open, but you'll have to give the handle a strong pull and the handle won't go back into place immediately. You may have to push it back. In both cases, it's best to replace the whole release cable, even if it's just stuck, because rarely does it help to try to lubricate or clean it. The latch mechanism for opening the hood is a very resilient and simple one. Because of this, rarely does it happen that it actually breaks. It's more probable that the cable will break first. The more common problem is that it gets stuck due to rust and filth getting into the mechanism and blocking it. However, if the latch mechanism is broken or damaged in some way, best replace it completely to avoid future problems. If it's just stuck, best use some WD-40 spray to get it working and then some lubricant to keep it rust-free. Most handles for releasing the hood are made out of plastic. On the inner side of the handle, there's a connector for the cable which may break. When this happens, the cable can't be pulled and the latch can't be released. This is due to material fatigue, but also to putting excessive strain on the handle. A stuck release cable or a stuck latch mechanism, for instance, will cause this. A more rare occasion is that the cable connector gets loose and falls off the handle. Also, yanking the handle intensively when opening the hood will break it. This problem has the same symptoms as with a broken cable. You pull the handle, but there's no resistance at all. One way to spot the problem is to look behind the handle and see if the cable is properly connected, but this is sometimes hard to do because of how the handle is installed or because of the trimming panel that's close to it. With this problem, in most cases, the only solution is to replace the whole handle. Since it's plastic, rarely can you make a good and long-lasting repair by improvising something. The hood, when mounted, has to be properly aligned with the rest of the car body to close properly and to be able to open again. Otherwise, it may get stuck and you won't be able to open it at all. This is one of the more rare reasons for problems, and you should consider it if there was any sort of body repair on the front side of the car, the hood was replaced, or the latch mechanism was replaced. The best way to recognize this is to look at the gaps between the hood and the car body. If they're even on both sides, opposed to the side panels, then it's set properly. Also, look at the gaps in the front part of the hood and the front grille. If it's aligned and the gaps are even, then it's okay. Any kind of crookedness or inequality in the gaps may mean you have a problem. The solution for this is to properly align the hood. In most cases, it's not that much of a problem. You'll have to release a couple of screws, perhaps release the latch mechanism a bit or else. The bigger problem is to align it, as this can be a very touchy job. If you have a trusted body shop at hand, consider letting them do it for you, as they have more routine and expertise, and the job will be done much faster and probably better. For the final reason worth checking, especially if you're a DIY enthusiast, did you leave anything under the hood? It's rare, but if you left some tools or a part in a position where the hood can press it, once the hood closes, the latch mechanism may get stuck. The hood sort of bends. Of course, this problem is easy to solve, provided you can open the hood again. In this case, prevention is the best solution, so always check for leftover tools or parts when you finish the repair. Also, if you sense any resistance when you lower the hood and want to finally close it, stop and make another check if something is left over. As you've seen, if the hood won't open, the reasons are pretty simple, and fixing the problem is usually a DIY job. You may have more trouble actually opening the hood when it's stuck than fixing the problem. Another obstacle you may encounter are accessibility issues, like when changing the cable or handle, for instance. You may have to fight with trim panels, plastic clips that break easily, or tight spots where the cables exit the passenger cabin, for instance. But all in all, it's definitely worth a try to fix it and can be an interesting job to do. So that's it for this time. Hope the video helps. Please like and subscribe, it's a huge help for what we're doing. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.